Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back here for Imola in the F123 Driver Career. As you can see on the screen, just making a few changes to the power unit, putting a few new components in as the other ones are getting pretty worn. As you can see now, putting some upgrades on the car, engine upgrade there, and as we fast forward the days, we've got a chassis upgrade that comes onto the car. And are we going to get this one? No. So the powertrain upgrade doesn't end up going through, so we will be repurchasing that, and that will be on the car for the next Grand Prix in Monaco. Now after practice, it's putting on a weight reduction upgrade, which will be on the car for Canada, and a reliability upgrade for the MG UK, which the same as the other one should be on the car for Canada. Alright, starting off quali here in Imola. Now, car felt pretty good actually. Car felt really good. Haven't driven a lot of Imola in this game, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we stack up. If we do really good in this quali session, I might have to put the difficulty up. I'm not 100% sure what it's on right now because it depends. Like usually, I think I start on about from like 103 to 105, and then if it's too easy, then I put it up. And then if it's too hard, we go a bit wide there. If it's too hard, I'll put it down maybe a little bit just to find the perfect balance. It depends. It's different from track to track. Sometimes I could be on 104 AI and, you know, be qualifying like P5 or P4, and then being really bad in the race, like dropping down and being slow and things like that. Or I could be on 104 and be really, really bad in quali, and then have a decent race. So yeah, in terms of the realism, I don't think the Williams is as good as the vehicle performance chart is saying it is. It is saying we're currently 5th as we finish our first lap there, 116.0, going P8 ahead of Norris and Gasly, which isn't too bad. I was going to risk it and just not go out, but yeah, decided the gap was only 3/10, I think, so decided to have a crack at trying to improve our lap here in Q1, as out of the first couple of corners they're up a half a tenth, as the checkered flag does drop on Q1 here in Imola. As you can see, the delta went up to nearly 2/10, down to about 1 1/4 tenths. There's still a lot of the lap to go, so definitely time to be made as we get a bit crossed up on the curb there and lose all that time. So basically forget what I just said. Down by nearly 2/10. We're going quite a bit through there though, 1/10 and a half. So that was a very nice chicane there. Very solid. Up by 2/10 as we head down for the final couple of corners. These were pretty tricky, I just couldn't get it right. Take a little bit too much inside curb there. And then, yeah, nearly hitting the gravel on the outside there. So we're going to improve by 2.5 tenths nearly, which is pretty decent considering how much time we did lose. So it's P7 for Q1. As you can see on screen, there we are in P7, just behind Russell there, and ahead of Alonso, Norris, Gasly. And then from P11, it's Zhou, Stroll, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda. And the drivers eliminated from Q1, Magnussen, Ocon, Albon, Bottas, De Vries. Ocon, very surprising. Surprising to see the Alpine right down there near the bottom. Unfortunately, Alex couldn't, you know, build on a couple of decent qualifying performances, getting into Q2 a couple of times as we started our first lap of Q2. Hamilton really getting in the way there. I'm not sure why he didn't get out of the way or slow down. But yeah, that would have cost us a bit of time, definitely. That really annoyed me at the time. So yeah, I suppose we just have to make up for it and go even quicker even on these old tyres. So this is just a banker really, obviously, you know, old tyres. So just trying to make sure we get a lap in. As you can see, the sky does look quite grey overhead. So yeah, you never know. With the weather on approximate, it could rain, it might not rain. If it does rain, it might be light, you might be able to stay on slicks, or it might be like wet. So yeah, it's a tricky one. So as we come out of the final corner, open up the DRS up to the line. It's a 1:16.5, 5/10 solid now. Our first Q1 time, and we slide down to P13 there. We start our second lap of this session on fresh tyres. As you can see, we do need to improve. We are in the drop zone. That first couple of corners already gaining nearly 4/10. I'm sure that is mainly down to getting impeded by Hamilton. So up by nearly half a second here. So it's been a very solid lap. Gone a little bit wide there, missing the apex. But yeah, like I was saying, looks like a very solid lap so far. The main target is to beat Piastri, as he's our rival, and we want that extra acclaim for beating him. So that's the goal. Hulkenberg down at P15. Pretty solid job from him. And Alonso down in P11. Looks like we're about 4.5 tenths up on him, as the Delta says we are up by 8 tenths. Wow, what a lap on these fresh softs. I wonder where it's going to put us. Will we make it into Q3? I have a feeling we might. Based on seeing that sector split to Alonso, I have a good feeling it's going to be P5. What a performance. That is great. Very good. Into Q3 again. Ahead of Hamilton, Norris, Perez, Gasly, Tsunoda. Tsunoda making it through. Drivers eliminated from Q2, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Zhou Guanyu, Oscar Piastri, Nico Hulkenberg. Surprising for the Aston Martins there. Yeah, well, Tsunoda, can't believe he's managed to get into Q3 in that absolute shitbox of a car. So yeah, let's get into Q3. We cross the line to start our first lap of the session on old tyres. I think these are the tyres that I did my Q1, the second Q1 lap. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So yeah, as you can see, it does look a lot more dull in terms of the sky. Very grey. So you never know. You never know. You might see a little bit of rain in this quali session. There was none forecasted, but like I was explaining, you never know with the approximate weather. It's a very good thing, I reckon, that they've added to the game in recent years. Makes it quite unpredictable to, you know, plan out, and it's a lot more realistic, so that's always good. As we come onto the chicane here, take it nice, very solid. Draining that battery as Leclerc sets the fastest lap with a 1:15.0. Don't know if we're going to get close to that, but we'll try our best. As we smash the inside curbs there, you don't want to do that. Centre's a little bit wide, I'm pretty sure we just missed the gravel. And we do a 1:15.9, puts us P7 ahead of Norris and Russell. So here we are, starting our final lap of qualifying. Verstappen down in P5, that's surprising to see. Gasly just ahead. Norris and Russell still behind us, so we'll see in a minute when they cross the line if we stay P7 or not. So the lap so far been a little scruffy, down by nearly a tenth there, 3/4 of a tenth. Gaining a bit more time there. Now we go positive on the delta. solid couple of corners. As the checkered flag drops, we do see Russell go ahead of us. We are now down to P8. The lap has just been full of mistakes, really. I mean, missing apexes, having little moments, you know. As I say that, we went positive on the delta for like a split second. Now back down by half a tenth. Gonna have to really improve in these final couple of corners, as we do go up on our previous time. Again, we smashed the inside curves a bit. It's going to gain us a lot more time, and we're going to improve by just over 1.5 tenths. And it's going to be P8. So I'll take that. It's a solid quality. Here we are. Here is the top 10 for the race here in Emilia. You got Carlos Sainz taking pole. Ferrari front row lockout. Very good for them at the first of their 2 home races this season. Hamilton coming in P3 ahead of the Red Bulls of Perez and Verstappen. Then his teammate in Russell coming in P6. Gasly P7, myself P8, Norris P9 in the McLaren. And Tsunoda coming in P10 in that AlphaTauri.
Home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters wearing red today, and they've all turned out for what we're expecting will be a sensational event here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Verstappen, Russell, Gasly, O'Reilly, Norris, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Joe, Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Ocon, Albon, Bottas and Nick de Vries. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for today's race. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Here we are on the grid for the Grand Prix, 32 laps. Going to be 15 on the medium, 17 on the hards, with a bit of rain at the end of the race. So that could be very interesting. Let's get into this one.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Here we are, 500 lights are on, and away we go for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I'm not saying the whole bloody name because it is stupidly long, as we enabled the overtake, getting past Gasly and Russell, as we just back off a little bit there on Russell, let him go through as he is in the Mercedes, and I expect him to be definitely quicker. So I think the main aim here for this one, at least the first stint, will just be to stay with Russell and, you know, try and just stay within the DRS of that top 6 there. Hopefully make a little bit of a gap to Gasly and Tsunoda as I reckon we are definitely quicker than those guys and can definitely defend. So we can't afford to make many mistakes in this opening couple of laps before the DRS is enabled as we close up to the back. Maybe a little bit of contact there on George Russell through the chicane. But yeah, like I was saying, we can't afford to really make many mistakes here, because once we're out of that DRS, I think we'll be out of it for good. I don't think we're catching up to any of these guys.
Alright, let's focus now for the rest of
So
the race.
enabling the overtake here as Perez sets fastest lap. Looks like he's overtaken Carlos Sainz. Disappointing for Ferrari. They'll be trying to get that position back for sure. As we're going to send one. For some reason we ghosted and then didn't ghost on the exit of turn 1. I'm not sure what happened there. But we do make the move on George Russell as that DRS is enabled. Nearly out of it there on Verstappen, but yeah, obviously Russell going back through as you just saw, kind of let him have it. I feel like we're probably a similar pace to George Russell. So yeah, and he's going to be pretty vulnerable because he is nearly out of DRS range of Max Verstappen. So we just have to hope that Russell doesn't end up getting DRS as we have a little bit of a moment. Going out of the hairpin there. Gives Gasly a bit of invitation there, and it lets Russell have a little bit of a buffer or a bit of breathing room as we head on to lap 5 here. Trying to overtake around the outside of turn 1. Can we make it stick on Russell? Yes, we can. By this point, Verstappen and the rest of the top 5 well ahead there, nearly 3 seconds.
Okay, good work. Great
But yeah, I
pass.
reckon that was a pretty decent move up the inside there. But he is going to come back at us the lap later, just a little bit further down the road from where we overtook him. He's going to send one. We're going to let him have that. And it kind of puts us off a little bit as we missed apex there. But yeah, Gasly nearly had a look up the inside there too. But yeah, couldn't make it stick. So we are pretty much on the back of Russell. It's a really kind of awkward position to be in. We're quicker than the guys behind and we're quicker than Russell, but he just gets us on the straights, and
The car ahead is a
it's weird as we overtake George Russell here, enabling a bit of overtake. As you can see, I've still got a bucket load to use as we head on to lap 7 through turn 1, and oh, we've got an engine failure. Oh boy, an engine failure. Wow, that is great. We could have been on for some really big points there. That's very, very disappointing. As you can see, here is your finishing order. Myself, the only DNF from the race, Albon, moving up from P18 to P15. Bottas doing a good job there from P19 to P12. That is so disappointing, as Verstappen comes from 5th on the grid to win. Here in Imola, Leclerc 2nd and Perez 3rd. Sainz couldn't convert that podium, so that's very disappointing for Ferrari. Carlos Sainz also picking up fastest lap there. But yeah, very disappointing for Ferrari not to get the win there. As we have a look at the standings now, we're in P11 in the driver's standings. Verstappen 35 points ahead of Perez and Sainz. And then you got Leclerc there on 91 points. So it's very tight from 2nd to 4th. Verstappen getting a bit of an early lead there, so probably be hard to chase him down from there, but you never know, a couple of bad races and he could drop down. As we have a look at the constructors here, we are P7 on 12 points, McLaren 31, Alpine and Aston Martin seem to be having a good battle there for P4, and Red Bull skipping ahead in the constructors as well on 219 points. So after a disappointing weekend, we've got Monaco next up, so make sure you watch out for that one, and I'll see you next time.